I've never been a good sleeper. I wake up at odd hours, sometimes drenched in sweat, sometimes with no memory of dreaming. But for the past month, something strange has been happening. Something I can't explain. Something I'm not sure I want to understand. Every night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., I wake up in a town that doesn't exist. It's not a dream. I know what dreams feel like. Blurry edges, shifting logic, the sense that you're watching yourself from somewhere far away. This is different. I feel the cobblestones under my feet, slick with dew. I smell the damp air, tinged with something metallic. I hear the distant hum of something alive, something ancient, just beyond the veil. The town is always the same. Narrow streets lit by flickering gas lamps that hiss like they're breathing. Buildings that lean too far, like they're listening to secrets whispered in the dark. The sky is a deep violet, and there's no moon, just a black void where it should be pulsing like a heartbeat, slow and steady. There are people here. Sort of. They were clothes from every era, Victorian coats, medieval tunics, modern hoodies, even tattered hospital gowns. But their faces are blank. Not featureless, just wrong. Like someone tried to sculpt a human face from memory and got the proportions slightly off. Eyes too wide, mouths too small, noses that seem to shift when you're not looking. They whisper in a language I almost understand. Almost. It curls around my ears like smoke, familiar and foreign all at once. The first few nights I wandered. I tried talking to them. They ignored me. I tried leaving the town, walking toward the horizon, but the streets looped back on themselves. No matter where I went, I ended up in the town square. Always the square. Always the same. On the seventh night, one of them handed me a map. It was made of skin. The streets were labeled with names I recognized. My childhood home, my elementary school, the hospital where my mother died. But they were twisted, rearranged. The town was building itself from my memories, warping them, feeding on them. I started keeping track. I wrote down everything I saw, everything that changed. Each night, more buildings appeared. Familiar ones. My old apartment, the diner I used to work at, even the treehouse my brother and I built when we were kids. But they weren't right. The diner had no doors. The treehouse was suspended over a chasm. My apartment windows looked out onto endless corridors. Then I saw my own name etched into a door. I opened it. Inside was my bedroom, but I was still in bed, sleeping. I watched myself breathe. Then I turned to the mirror. My reflection blinked and whispered, "You're not waking up this time." I jolted awake in my Real bed, gasping. It was 3:18 a.m. I tried staying awake the next night. Drank coffee, blasted music, kept the lights on. I even tied myself to the bed. But at 3:17, everything went black. I opened my eyes in the town again. This time, the people were waiting for me. They formed a circle around the town square. In the center was a fountain that hadn't been there before. It was filled with a thick, black liquid that shimmered like oil and smelled like rust. One of them stepped forward and handed me a coin. It was warm, pulsing, like it had a heartbeat of its own. I dropped it into the fountain. The liquid rippled, and something rose from the depths. Not a creature, a shape, a silhouette of something vast and ancient. It didn't speak, but I felt its voice in my bones. "You are the architect." I didn't understand. I still don't. But every night, the town grows. It's not just my memories anymore. I see places I've never been, faces I don't recognize, events I haven't lived through. It's like the town is pulling from something deeper, collective memory, ancestral trauma, maybe even other lives, maybe even other deaths. Last night, I found a library. The books were blank. Every single one, except for one. It had my name on the cover. Inside were pages filled with my thoughts. Things I've never told anyone. Secrets I've buried. Regrets I've tried to forget. And, at the end, a single sentence. "You will forget the waking world." I don't know what's happening to me. I've stopped setting alarms. I've stopped trying to fight it. The town feels more real than my life now. I can't remember the last time I spoke to someone during the day. I think I'm fading. Tonight, I saw a new building. A hospital. Inside, There was a room with machines beeping softly. A figure lay in the bed, surrounded by tubes and wires. It was me. I looked older, gaunt, unmoving. A nurse walked in, checked the vitals, and whispered, "Still no change. He's been in a coma for 30 years." I tried to scream, but no sound came out. I woke up in my bed. 3:18 a.m. But something's wrong. My apartment is quiet. Too quiet. The lights don't work. My phone is dead. The windows show nothing but violet sky. I think I didn't wake up. I think I never did. There's a knock at the door. I don't want to answer it, but I do. Outside stands one of the townspeople. Their face is clearer now, almost familiar. They hand me a key. It's made of bone. "Time to come home," they say. I follow them. The hallway stretches longer than it should. The walls breathe. The floor pulses. I pass doors labeled with names I've never heard, but somehow know. I reach the end. There's a mirror. I look into it. I see the town behind me. I see myself walking away. And I understand. I was never awake. Not really. And now I never will be.